So, para po sa first na uh, para po sa first na sasagot is ito na po. So, Miss Erica May Cortez. Andito po ba siya? Yun. So, dun tayo sa color. Spin tayo. So, it's a color green. Pili po tayo dito. So, yun. Tell us something you watch or listen to. Ma'am Erica? And ayun, nag-leave siya. So, pili na lang po ata tayo ulit ng name. Sige.
Sir, ako na po. Nawala kasi ng 3.
So, ayan. Israel. Tell us something you watch or listen to.
There are something you watch or
Hello, ma'am. So, pili na lang po ata tayo ng other names. Let's spin the wheel. Miss Salvo Angelina. Nandito po siya. Wala. Another name ata. So, nandito ata siya si Miss Address Angel. Hello, ma'am. So, spin tayo ng color. And it is a color orange.
Good evening po.
So, dito tayo sa color orange. Tell us something you do well. ma'am?
Maybe baking.
Nice. So thank you so much. Next is spin tayo sa wheel. Remove na natin si ma'am. Next. Ito siya si Ma'am April Joy. Hello ma'am. Dito ka po. Um, April Joy. Oh, wala siya dito sa Google Meet. Next na lang po ata. Let's spin. Ma'am Julia. Mikaela. Kita ko siya kanina. Next na lang.
Pero siguro po, last one na po yun.
Ito pangalan mo yung ano.
Para po makapag...
Sige, sige, sige. Revelia Robilian. Robilian. So,
Good evening po.
ma'am, spin tayo ng color mo. Red. Tell us something about yesterday.
Um, nag nagsimba po Easter
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much po. Then proceed na po tayo sa
Yan lang po.
thank you po ma'am. Proceed na po tayo sa word of the day. Ma'am Bernadette, ito na po.
Thank you, Mr. Earl and Julie May. So, for our word of the day po, we have every bad situation will have something positive. Even the dead clock shows correct time twice a day. So, yun po, next. So, we're going to have a recap of the past meeting po. So, last time po, they have as the Philippine Tibet system. They define Tibet as comprising education, training, and skills development related to a wide range of occupational fields, production, business, and livelihood. They also discussed about how the Tibet started in the Philippines. Aside from that, they also tackled the Philippine Tibet system. We have two types of Tibet system, such as formal Tibet system, informal and non-formal Tibet system. Also, characteristic of existing MS Tibet in the Philippines. So for the basic structure, we have three major modes of providing Tibet training, such as institution-based, enterprise-based, and community-based. So also governance and management, quality assurance, Tibet, and the Philippine Qualification Framework or the PQF. So next slide po. So ito po yung mga key terms. So, una po is EP or batas pambansa bilang 232 or the Education Republic Act 7796, Republic Act 10533, and Republic Act 10647. Next, Republic Act 10931, Republic Act 1096A, and the National Technical Education and Skill Development Plan or NTE-SDP of 2018 to 2020. So as we go further po, we are going to discuss matters and importance. Next po, so next yun nga po yung i-discuss po natin ngayon is about the debt in the Philippine education system. Next. So here are the discussants po. We have Mr. Andres Galat, Angela Mariette, and yours truly, Ernst. Next slide. Maria Ella Torres, John Salitos, Joyce Tano, and Julie May Sarte. Next po. Rebecca Zamudio, Insa Ray, and Shani Salmo. So yun po, we're going to start na po with the discussion proper. So, for the division po of our topics, for the Tibet system, Earl Justin Saliba will be discussed the topic Tibet strategy and key policies. The funds documents, we have Joyce Prado and yours truly, governance and financing, Maria Ana Torres, Shani Salinas. For the Tibet teachers, we have Joanne Salitas and Ma'am Laika Zamudio. For qualification system and quality assurance, we have Angela Mariette and Julie May Sarte. For the currency points and quality control, we have Andre Jonathan Galat and Mr. Ray Impia. So, Mr. Earl Saliba, you can start na po. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you po. Wait lang po. So, ayun. The first topic po is the Tibet system. So, here, ito po is yung Tibet sa Philippine educational system. So, ito po, meron tayo dito ng legend, which is itong blue is refers to general education. Ito is for the Tibet. And this is para po sa Tibet as an optional subject. So, start po dito tayo sa primary. So, primary is cover po nito yung ito yung primary education and cover nito yung public elementary schools, private elementary school, including the religious institutions. May duration po ito na 6 years. So, as you can see, wala po siyang Tibet. Kasi po, wala naman natuturo sa atin na Tibet. Kung mapapansin natin nung elementary days, wala pong naturo sa atin na Tibet na makakakuha tayo ng national certificate. So next, sa taas is the lower secondary. So, cover po nito yung junior high school from 7th grade hanggang po sa 10th grade. So, cover din po nito yung public and private schools. And may duration na 4 years. And also, wala po siyang TVET. Mapapansin niyo po. Then, moving up sa upper secondary, ito na po yung senior high school. May duration po na 2 years, including public and private secondary schools. So, makikita niyo po dito na may blue and nire-represent po nito na general education. And dito po sa kabila, makikita nyo na may TVET. So, dito po pinapakita dito na dito sa part na to is ito yung mga strand. Yung mga strand na may mga connection sa TVET. So, for example, the CSS. So, sa CSS, kung mag-OJT tayo, makakakuha tayo ng national certification or the NC1 and NC2. So, dito sa blue is ito yung mga strand lang na nasa general education lang. For example, is yung general academic strands. So, next is the post-secondary non-tertiary. So, kung makikita nyo po, wala siyang blue. And kasi po, dito po nabibilang yung mga ano tawag dito? Yung mga institutes na yung mga technical and vocational institutes. So, for example nga, yung malapit dito, yung Global IT and yung San Francisco College, ay, hindi. Basta. So, dito po sa, halimbawa sa Global IT, so, dito tayo makakakuha ng National Certification 3 or yung NC3 and NC4 and hanggang sa diploma, the NC5. And moving up, and dito po tayo sa university and college. Sa tertiary na po siya. So, kailangan po muna ng bachelor's program para po makaangat. And pagkatapos po ng bachelor's program, sunod na po is yung master's program. And sunod na din po yung doctorate program. Na may duration din po siya na 3 years. So, ayun, next po. Formal TVET system. Technical vocational livelihood programs are offered at the upper secondary education level. So, dito po yung mga senior high schools and may duration po siya na 2 years. Sabi ko nga kanina. And admission requirements is no requirements. Completion of lower secondary education. So, students can obtain the national certification, the NC1 and NC2 in TVET programs. So, after successfully graduating from senior high school, they receive certificates of graduation or high school diploma and can proceed to the technical and vocational schools or institutes. Ito na nga yung sinasabi ko kanina. Next is the TVET programs are offered at the post-secondary and tertiary level. So, ito na po yung sinasabi ko nga kanina na ang example is yung Global IT kung alam nyo po. So, may duration po ito na weeks up to 3 years. So, ito po is tinuturo sa technical and vocational schools and institutes. Program may vary from a few weeks up to 3 years. Students can take TESDA administered examination to receive a certificate or diploma. So, ayun, ito pong mga technical and vocational schools and institutes na to. Ito po yung um, sila po yung mga schools na um, sila po yung schools na uh, I mean, sila po yung schools na nag nagbibigay ng strands or yung mga specializations, mga TESDA courses. So, after 1 year, graduates receive a certificate, and after 2 years, the qualification will be a certificate of proficiency, and after 3 years, a diploma can be achieved. And if the students is study for 4 years, makaka-receive po sila ng bachelor's degree. So depending on the course and workload, students can obtain NC3 and the NC4 or the diploma. With any of these certifications, they can move on to the higher education, and the credit they have gained throughout their TVET education can count towards the pursued degree. So next is the universities. Sa universities naman to. So TVET programs are offered at the tertiary sector. May duration po ito na 4 years, and requirements po dito is yung bachelor's degree. And pagka tapos po dito, yung mga graduates po is pwede nang pursue ng master's and doctorate programs. Next is the non-formal and informal TVET system. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or the TESDA, local government units or the LGUs, and non-governmental organizations or the NGOs offer non-formal TVET programs. Some examples includes the center-based programs. So, ang responsible po ng program na to is yung TESDA. Target audience not specified or walang pinipili. Admission requirements is none din. Qualifications received not specified. But there are 15 regionals and 45 provincial training centers. Across po yan sa Pilipinas. Sa buong Pilipinas po yan. Next is the community-based training programs. Responsible po nito is yung LGUs and the NGOs. Targeted audience is the poor and marginalized groups without access to formal education due to low skills and limited financial resources. Admission requirements not specified, and the qualification na marireceive mo po dito is yung skills na magpa-facilitate sa iyo para sa self-employment. Kaya nga po ito is, ang target nito is yung mga poor and marginalized groups without access to formal education. Next is the enterprise-based programs. So, ang responsible po dito na organization is the TESDA, and with cooperation din po ng ibang companies na pagtuturuan. So, target audience not specified. Admission requirements not specified. And yung qualification po na marireceive ng isang student are split into three. So namely, the apprenticeship program, the learnership program, and the dual training system. So next discussion po.
So for now po, we are going to talk about naman sa TVET strategy and key policy documents. So bali po, dito po nakapaloob po yung mga laws, like mga Republic Acts po na kung saan it helps for the development of the TVET in the Philippines. So next slide po. So yung una nga po is Batas Pambansa 232 or the Education Act of 1982. So the Education Act is the framework for the establishment of an integrated system of education. It specifies the aims of the educational system as follows. So parang this law po, it states that it is all about giving the rights on every individual. Parang binibigyan po nito ng karapatan yung mga dapat po is bawat individual may karapatan po na makapag-aral ng basic education po. It provides general education that assists individual in the unique ecology of their own society, train the economy's human resources in the middle level skill required for the economy's development, develop professions that will produce capable Filipino people who can take a lead in the advancement of knowledge and improve the quality of human life, and then respond effectively to the changing needs and conditions of the economy through educational planning and the evaluation system. So bali po, this Education Act is para po masolusyonan or para po mapunan po yung mga kakulangan ng isang bansa po with regards po sa education. So parang ito po yung gumagawa ng paraan para po mabigyan ng solusyon kung ano man po yung mga pagkukulang or mga kailangan ng isang bansa para po makapag-proceed or para po makapag-provide ng bawat individual na makakasabay or makakasunod po sa sa pagbabago ng bansa po or ayun po para makasabay po sa mga like for example po 'di ba sa globalization po para po makasabay po or makasabay po yung mga skills na kailangan po para sa pagbabago po or sa modernization. Next po. So we have the Republic Act 7796 or the TESTA Act. It is entered into force on August 25, 1994. So the Congressional Commission for Education or the EDCOM was created through the Philippine Congress Act of Enactment of the Joint Resolution Number 2 in 1990s. Its main objective was to review and assess the education and human resources training system of the nation. EDCOM's assessment resulted in numerous recommendations, like, for example, the need for the establishment of another government agency that would function to develop and oversee matter of debate in the country. So the Act followed EDCOM's recommendation and created the Technical Education and Skill Development Authority, or the TESTA. TESTA is mandated to provide relevant, accessible, and high-quality and efficient technical, vocational education, and training opportunities for the Filipinos to meet the skill requirements for economic and social development. So, balik po dito sa TESDA Act, parang pong nire-review po or ina-assess po yung education ng isang bansa para po makita po nila kung ano po yung kakulangan or kung ano po yung needs ng bawat sector ng education po. Like, kaya nga po dito po nabuo yung TESDA po para mapunan po yung mga needs or itong TESDA po ginawa po para matulungan po yung bawat individual na para po maibigay po sa kanila yung mga skills for their developments po para po economic and social development. Next po. So the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. So the Enhanced Basic Education Act is popularly known as the K-12 program. It covers kindergarten and 12 years of basic education, 6 years of primary schooling, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school by adding 2 years to the current educational system. The program aims to provide mastery of skills for lifelong learners and prepare them for career opportunities. So, as we all know naman po, di ba, K to 12 parang um, after we graduated in senior high school or in grade 12, di ba po, we have many opportunities na po para makapag-trabaho or may mga opportunities na po na naghihintay sa atin like pag nakapagtapos na po tayo ng grade 12. So, yun po yung um, ini-aim ng law na to na kung saan they must provide an opportunities for those senior high school graduates po para po para po ito sa mga kabataan or every individual na hindi na po kakayanin or hindi na po magpapatuloy for the higher education po. So it also contextualizes lessons and learning materials for the students as concept will be explained in the context of the local culture and with the use of mother tongue in the region. The Enhanced Basic Education curriculum also prepares graduates of this educational program to acquire middle-level skills that will allow them to enhance further opportunities in the global market. So yun nga po, sinasabi na yung K to 12 po, di ba po, dito na nga po, di ba, like, gaya nga po ng sinabi ni Mr. Earl Sariba na sa grade 12 po, we have TVET programs. Like for example, sa pag senior high school na po, may mga TVET programs na po na sinasama po na para kapag nakatapos ka, may mga skills or may mga knowledges ka na alam mo na kung saan pwede mong magamit kapag lumabas ka na ng senior high school. Yung mga natutunan mo sa senior high school is magagamit mo na yon kung gusto mo na po na makapagtrabaho. It depends po on sa skills or sa knowledge na natutunan mo or sa kung anong strand na pinasukan mo. Nakadepende po yun doon kung saan mo po or kung ano po yung job opportunities na gusto mo po na pasukan. So next po, Ms. Joyce Dado.
Oh, RA 1064, the Leaderized Education Act. Date interpret into 2014. The Leaderized Education Act institutionalized a leaderized education program, LEP, which formalized a system of accreditation and interface between and among the economies, technical vocational institution, higher educational institutions. The law allows Tibet graduates to proceed to college to pursue a degree without having to take the course program all over. Units shall accredit from a technical or vocational course to a college degree program. So ito po ay nagbibigay ng maraming landas para sa mga nasa technical stream upang patuloy mataas na edukasyon at makakuha ng college degree sa pamamagitan ng pagdaan sa hagdan ng TVET o tinatawag na access ramp na maka-embed sa struktura ng antas ng mataas na edukasyon. Next po. RA 1071, Philippines Green Jobs Act. Date entered into force 2016. The Jobs Act promotes the creation of green jobs and environment that contribute to preserving or restoring the quality of the environment in the agriculture, the industry, or services sector. The law also mandate of the Department of Labor and Employment (DOLE) to coordinate with other government agency in national green jobs, human resource development, expansion, enhancement, and utilizing of the labor force both in private and public sector. Lang po guys, maingay po kasi dito. So, ito daw po ay noong April 2016 ipinasa ng Pilipinas Act RA 10771 para isong ang sustainable growth na lumikha ng disenteng trabaho at bumuo ng resilience laban sa climate change sa pamamagitan ng mga insentibo sa mga negosyo bumubuo ng mga green jobs. Next po. Sensya na po, maingay po kasi may campaign. RA 1093-1, the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, date entered into force 2016. The Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act provided free tuition and other school fees in state and local university and college as well as state-run technical vocational institution. It also establishes the tertiary education subsidy and student loan program and strengthens the Unified Student Financial Assistance System for tertiary education, thereby expanding the changes for students for pursue their education further. So, ito po ay official na itinalaga bilang Republic Act 1093-1 ay isang batas sa Pilipinas na naglalagay ng libreng tuition, exemption sa ibang pangbayarin sa states, universities, and colleges, SUSCS, and local universities and college LUCS in the Philippines. Next po, ano na para matapos maingay po kasi, sorry po. RA 10968, the Philippines Qualification Farm Work PQF Act, date entered in 2017. The law establishes the PQF, which shall describe the levels of educational qualification and set the standard for qualification outcomes. The PQF is a quality assured national system for the development, recognition, and award of qualification based on a standard of knowledge scales and values acquired in different ways and method by learners and workers of the country. So, an act institutionalizing the Philippines qualification framework, pagtatag ng PQP, National Coordinating Council, NCC, at operating fund further. Yun lang po. Next po. Bernadette Count.
So, National Technical Education and Skill Development Plan, or the NTEST 2018-2022 Act of 2020. So, the NTEST which is given one PTVET for decent work, sustainable, inclusive growth, it aims to mobilize, galvanize, and strengthen Second is direct, such as global competitiveness and workforce readiness as equity. First, yung government para makapag-provide po yung everything na mas dito po yung mga work na pang-global po. It's specifically the objective stated in the NTESDP of 2018 to 2022 are to create a conducive and enabling environment for the development and quality service delivery of the Tibet sector in order to produce work-ready, globally competitive green economy workers imbued with the 21st century skills. So yun po. Then prepare the Philippine workforce for the challenges posed by the fourth industrial revolution as it ushers in new jobs not yet in the marketplace that make existing ones obsolete, assure industries with high economic and employment growth potentials are provided the required quantity of quality workforce, directly and more vigorously address workforce needs of the basic sectors in order to achieve greater social equity and economic inclusion, implement values and integrity in the conduct and delivery of DVET in the whole sector, and progressively align their programs and course offering with global standards, especially in critical or priority sectors of the Philippine economy. So the key performance indicators or the KPIs include increased enrollment in TVET, quantity of assessed individuals, increased certification rate, quantity of TVET graduates granted with scholarships, and employment rate. All KIPs or all KPIs are aligned with regional development goals. So yung pinaka main point po ng NTESDP 2018 to 2022 po is para po makapag-provide ng mga bawat individual na kung saan they acquired the skills for the global. Meaning po, kaya po makipagsabayan kahit po sa ibang bansa or kahit nasaan pa man po yan. So, yun lang po. Next po.
Governance and financing.
So I am the discussant for the governance. Next po. Governance or government for Tibet. Government basically plays a primary role in managing and delivering social services such as health, education, social welfare, and access programs. As governments downsize, they look for multiples and providers of services in areas in which partnership participation is possible. In the Philippines, 80% of university education and of Tibet sector, most governments are still in a transition. First, number one, governance responsible for Tibet at the state level is education and skill development. As a government agency, TESDA is tasked to both manage and supervise Philippines' technical education and skills development ay paunlarin ang Pilipino workforce na may world-class competence and positive work values at nagbibigay ng dekalidad na technical education at pag-unlad ng mga kasanayan sa pamamagitan ng direction, policies, and programs. Number two, all managements and supervision of TVET is lodged with it. TVET system and implementation of the competency-based TVET system are some of the major decisions taken by the agency. Number three, TESDA is responsible for both managing as well as supervising the Philippines Technical Education and Skills Development TESD. To manage and supervise technical education and skills development in the Philippines, it was created by virtue of Republic Act 7796, otherwise known as the Technical Education and Skills Development Act 1994. Number 4, TESDA sets direction, promulgates relevant standards, and implements programs geared towards a quality-assured and inclusive technical education and skills development system. Mission ng TESDA ay to sets direction to provide effective supervision, koordinasyon at pagsasama-sama ng teknikal na edukasyon at mga programa sa pagpapaunlad ng kasanayan, ang mga proyekto at mga kaugnayan na aktibidad sa kani-kanyang jurisdiction. Next po. Next po. Number 5, the department receive directions and implementing guidelines to serve as guides in the delivery of TVET programs and services at the regional and provincial levels. Ang test direction, naghahayag ng mga kaugnay na pamantayan at nagpapatupad ng mga programa na nakatuon sa kalidad and inclusive technical education and skills development and certification system. Number 6 is governance. TESDA is a merger of the four national manpower and youth skill or NMYC. The fusion of the above office was one of the key recommendations of 1991 ulat ng Komisyon sa Edukasyon na Kongreso na nagsasagawa ng pambansang pagsusuri sa estado ng Philippine Education and Manpower Development. Number 7, TESDA is mandated by law to provide relevant, accessible, high quality, and efficient technical education and skills development in support of the development of high quality Filipino middle level workforce responsive and in accordance with Philippines development with Philippines development goals and priorities. Next po, ay wait. Ayon daw doon, approved skills standards and tests develop an accreditation system for institutions involved in middle-level manpower development or fund programs and projects. The TESDA authority is composed of the Health and Board and the Secretariat. Ang TESDA ay isang ahensya ng gobyerno or ang TESDA ay may tungkol ang technical skills development or ang Philippines, its goals are to develop the Filipino workforce with world-class competence and positive work values. Next is it is responsible for the promulgation of continuing coordinated and fully integrated technical education and skills development policies, plans, and programs. Well, TESDA was established through enactment of Republic Act number 7796, otherwise known as the Technical Education and Skill Development Act of 1994, which was signed into law by President Fidel V. Ramos on August 25, 1994. Last, the board two members, the majority 14, comes from the private sector, six from employers and industry, six from labor, and two from private technical vocational institutions, thereby also representing the public-private partnership. There are government um, departments which represent areas related to technical education skills development. Next, so these are the eight government departments. First, Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, which is the national government agencies. Second, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, TESDA, provides direction, policies, programs. Third, Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG, which is assist LGUs effectively and efficiently. Department of Finance in the DPI is responsible for realizing control. Fifth was Commission on Higher Education, the CHED, ensuring relevant and higher. Next is Department of DepEd, is the promote the right of education to quality equitable. Department of Agriculture, the DAE, as a the last one is Department of Science and Technology, the DOST, is provider of world-class scientific, technological, and innovative solutions that will lead to there. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Financing. Tibet in the Philippines is being funded through various sources such as national government through the annual general appropriation GAA, means the budget as adopted by the legislative body or as otherwise given legal force by a charter provision in effect on the effective date of this section. Second, industry or employers. The act of employing or state of being employed. Third, local government units. Local government is divided into four categories: counties, municipalities, cities and towns, special district, and school districts of local government. A student fee, also known as a student activity fee, is a fee charged to students at a school, college, university, or place of learning in addition to matriculation or tuition fees. Contributions or donations from ILO, ADB, World Bank, etc. Next. Next po. The GAA sets the general parameters on how funds will be allocated and defines programs, and services for which the funds can be allocated. The Asian Development Bank's or ADB primary mission is to promote economic growth and cooperation in the Asia-Pacific region. The majority of the ADB's members are in the Asia-Pacific region. Usually, the Tibet system is financed through public and private funds. Defines a donation as a gift for charity, humanitarian aid, or to benefit a cause. Similarly, a contribution is a gift or payment to a common fund or collection. Next. Next po. Public TVET programs are funded through the following agencies: Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, TESDA, which funds a network of TESDA technology institutions to effectively supervise, coordinate, and integrate technical education and skills development programs, projects, and related activities within their respective jurisdictions. Local government units or LGU, which funds short courses in Tibet. Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG assists LGUs to effectively and efficiently deliver services to their constituents. DILG formulates policies, plans, and programs to enhance local autonomy, focusing particularly on the administrative, technical, and fiscal capacities of LGUs. Department of Agriculture or DA. The Department of the is the government agency responsible for the promotion of agricultural development by providing the policy, framework, public investment, and support services needed for domestic and export-oriented business enterprises. Department Social Welfare and Development or DSWD. The department is the DSWD and LGUs shall provide the victims temporary shelter, provide counseling, psychosocial services, and or recovery, rehabilitation, and program and livelihood assistance. Funding the private Tibet initiatives are derived from the following sources: fees paid by trainees for their Tibet course, companies which fund apprenticeships, training programs, and offer allowances or to trainees, NGOs which run training courses and provide funding for training institutions. That's all. Thank you.
Next po ay si Ma'am Joanne Salditos and Ma'am Laika Zamudjo.
Okay, good evening po ulit. The next is TVET teachers and trainers. A TVET trainer is a professional who enables a learner or a group of learners to develop competencies to performing a particular trade or technical work. Toward this end, a TVET trainer may assume various roles such as training facilitator, competency assessor, training designer and development, developer and training supervisor. So, next po. Next po, trainer development program is responsible and for quality trainers who will manage and implement the TVET system in the Philippines. So, central to this system are TVET trainers who should not only possess technical skill and industry experience, but meron din kinakailangan transversal, cross-occupational, digital, and effective pedagogical skills and competencies. Bukod sa kasanayang ito, kailangan din ng mga trainers na magkaroon ng magagandang personal na katangian that will set them to become a great or effective TVET teachers. So next, we'll address that the need to upgrade the institutional. Wait lang po, Ern. Pabalik po. We'll address address the need to upgrade the institutional or organizational competencies of technical and vocational institution as measured by the East Asia Summit TVET Quality Assurance Framework, the TESDA Star Rating System, and the Asia Pacific Accreditation and Certification Commission. As defined in this program, the trainees comprise of administrators, supervisors, and teaching personnel who are handling the classroom or workshop. This program will be provided as in-service training, supplementary to the Philippine Tibet Trainers Qualification Framework. So, while the standard and curriculum for Tibet trainers are addressing most of skills requirements, TESDA may look into developing the trainer's capability to teach learners with special needs as well as improve their transversal skills. Hanggang dun lang po yung sa akin. Tapos continue na po ni Miss Laika sa Mudyo.
Enhance the competencies of administrators, supervisors, teaching, and non-teaching staff based on the competency standards defined by the Human Resource Management Division Administrative Service HRMD ES of TESTA and the Philippine Tibet Trainers Qualification Framework PTTQF Trainers Methodology PM Level 1. Dapat daw pong pausayin ang programa sa kakayahan ng mga administrador, supervisor, at mga kawani na hindi nagtuturo batay sa mga pamantayan na tinutukoy ng human resource o ang TESDA at ng Philippine Tibet Trainers Qualification ay antas ng pamamaraan ng mga tagatsanay. Next po. The training programs are categorized as executive, supervisory, and non-teaching personnel development. The first, Executive Development Program, TVI Administrators. In the Executive Development Program, EDP, um, you will be you will build capabilities for leading cross-border teams across function and categories and countries. Second, strengthen business acumen in core areas such as finance, marketing, operations, management, and strategy. Third, test and improve your leadership, resilience, agility, and critical thinking skills through a realistic business strategy simulation. Network and forge new business relationship with global peers from around the world. Last, work with an executive coach to develop your leadership skills one-on-one and through the simulation team experience. And the second, supervisory develop program. TVI instruction supervisors. The third, teaching personal development programs. TVI trainers providing instruction in classroom or workshops. And the lastly, non-teaching personal development program, personnel who perform function in support of the training delivery and provide student support service including guidance, counselor, librarian, etc. Yun lamang. Thank you.
So, kami na po. Qualification system and quality assurance. Next po. National Qualification Framework or NQF. The Philippine Qualification Framework or PQF Act was passed in 2017. According to the document, the framework consists of the following level. Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, hanggang 8 po. Tapos yung qualification niya, NC1 to doctorate and post-doctoral. So, start na po tayo sa level 1. Knowledge and skill that are manual or concrete, or practical and operational in focus. Apply in activities that are set in limited range of highly familiar and predictable contexts, involves straightforward routine issues which are which addressed by following set rules, guidelines, or procedures. In condition where there is very close support, guidance, or supervision, minimum judgment or discretion is needed. Qualification type, National Certificate 1 or NC1. Next po, level 2. Knowledge and skill that are manual, practical, and operational in focus with a variety of options. Apply in these activities that are set in a range of familiar and predictable contexts, involve routine issues which are identified and addressed by selecting from the following a number of set rules, guidelines, or procedure. In condition where there is substantial support, guidelines, or supervision, limited judgment or discretion is needed. Qualification type is National Certificate 2 or NC2. Level 3. Knowledge and skill that are balance of theoretical and technical and practical. Work involves understanding the work process, contributing the problem solving, and making decisions to determine the process, equipment, and material to be used. Apply in these activities that are set in context which some unfamiliar or unpredictable aspect involve routine and non-routine issues which are identified and addressed by interpreting or applying established guidelines and procedure with some various. Application at this level may include individual responsibility or autonomy and may involve some responsibility for others. Participation in teams including team or group activities. Qualification type is National Certificate 3 or NC3. Level 4. Knowledge and skill that are mainly theoretical or abstract with significant depth in one or more areas, contributing the technical solution or a non-routine contingency nature. Evaluation and analysis of current practice and the development of new criteria and procedures. Apply in activities that are set in range of contexts, most of which involve a number of unfamiliar or unpredictable aspects involve largely non-routine issues which are addressed using guidelines or procedure which require interpretation and adoption. Work involves some leadership and guidelines when organizing activities of self and other. Qualification type, National Certificate 4 or NC4. Level 5. Knowledge and skill that are mainly theoretical or abstract with significant depth in some areas together with a wide range of specialized technical, creative, and conceptual skill, perform work activities demonstrating depth and complicity in the planning of institution of alternative approach of skills and knowledge application across a broad range of technical and management requirements and evaluation and coordination. Apply in these activities that are supervisory, complex, and non-routine, which require the incentive interpretation or adaptation and innovation. In condition where there is broad guidance and director where judgment is required in planning and selecting appropriate equipment, service, and techniques for self and others. Undertaken work involved participation in the development of strategic initiative, as well as a personal responsibility and autonomy in performing complex technical operation and organizing others. Qualification type diploma, level 6. Graduate at these levels have broad and coherent knowledge and skill in their field of study of professional work and lifelong learning. Application in professional work or research in a specialized field of discipline and for further study. Independent or in teams of relative field with minimal supervision, guided by the set procedures and frequently required judgment. Qualification type baccalaureate degree level 7. Graduates graduate at this level have advanced knowledge and skill in specialized or multidisciplinary field of study for professional practice or self-directed research. Apply in professional work that requires leadership and management in a specialized or multidisciplinary professional work, research, and for further study. Independent or in teams of multidisciplinary, multidisciplinary field with very minimal supervision and involved exercise for leadership and initiative. Qualification type post-baccalaureate program. And lastly, level 8. Graduates at this level have highly advanced systematic knowledge and skill in very specialized or complex multidisciplinary field or learning for multifaceted research or professional practice and for the advancement of learning. Apply in highly specialized or complex multidisciplinary field of professional work, research, and further study that require management, experts, innovation, and leadership. Interdependent or in teams of multidisciplinary and complex setting with significant level of expertise, based autonomy, and accountability. Qualification type is doctoral degree and postdoctoral programs. Next po. The PQF National Coordinating Committee or NCC Technical Working Group or TWG, which established to develop and implement the PQF, is composed of the following qualification of register led by TESDA or Technical Education and Skill Development Authority. Number two is Information and Guidance, led by DepEd or Department of Education. Number three, Quality Assurance, led by CHED or Commission of Higher Education. Number four, Pathways and Equivalency, led by CHED or Commission of Higher Education. And lastly, International Enlightenment, led by PRC. Next po. The referencing process aims to describe a common structure of linking NGFS to the AQRF, ensuring that the link process undertaken is robust and transparent. Provide a common reporting structure for the referencing reports. Yun lang po. Next na po si Angela. Thank you.
Good evening po. I'll report the specific objectives of the vet policy. 2. Assure guidance, counseling, planning, monitoring, and evaluation of the vet activities. Vet ng assurance sa pag-guide and sa pag-counsel, pag-plan, coordinate, monitor, and evaluate activities or the vet accreditation. Provides theoretical, practical matching with the needs of enterprises and international standards. Satisfy quantitative and qualitative priority sectors by training required workforce for the relevant qualification areas.
provide the graduates with required skills, ability, develop ability to learn with autonomy during professional life employment, develop work values, attitudes, and individuals towards professionalism expressed in quality, efficiency, creativity, adaptability, and commitment, responsibility, and accountability. And this specific objectives of the TVET policy po, sila yung nag-assure ng guidance, sila yung nagpo-provide ng mga theoretical and practical training sa mga sectors. Ina-ensure po nila na quantitative and qualitative needs ay na and they provide the graduates with the required skills for the profession na nag-i-ensure po na mai-employ sila with and na made-develop ang kanilang ability and skills na magagamit in their works or in their professional life and develop work values and attitudes of individuals. Next po. The quality assurance. TESDA is the sole means a sole accreditation and certification body for TVET. It encompasses two systems that seek to uphold the quality in TVET, namely the Unified TVET Program Registration and Accreditation System and the Philippine TVET Competency Assessment and Certification System. It TESDA po ang this the sole means the only legal or the main legal training na nagbibigay po ng certification accreditation para sa mga technical vocational education trainings. And the TESDA also provides a quality management system for program registration, assessment and certification, and development of training regulations, as well as competency assessment tools. Kumbaga, according nga po dito, sole accreditation and certification, ibig sabihin, sila yung nag-iisang nagbibigay ng mga programs, registration, assessment, and certification, and development training, ma-ensure na ensure the competency ng ang mga workers or the future workers natin. Next po. In Youth Plus or United TVET Program Registration Accreditation System, sila yung nagpo-provides ng quality assistance, quality assurance mechanism through the mandatory registration of TVET programs with TESDA, which includes regular compliance audits and the voluntary accreditation of TVET programs and institution by accrediting body. In this po, sila po yung nagpo-provide, in this system, sila yung nag-provide ng quality assurance sa pagitan ng mandatory registration ng mga TVET program sa TESDA. The registration of TVET program signifies compliance with the minimum requirements stipulated in the TESDA training regulations. Sa pag-register daw ng TVET programs, ito na yung nagpapakita or ng pag-comply nila sa mga requirements ng TESDA. Next is the PTCACS or Philippine TVET Competence. Next na pong slide. Or the Philippine TVET Competency Assessment and Certification System. It determines whether the graduate or the worker can perform to the standard expected in the workplace based on the defined competency standards. In this system po, ito yung nagde-determine kung ang graduates or ang worker ba ay kayang mag-perform ng or may skills and ability na pasok sa standard na expected sa isang workplace. Certification provides ang PTCACS din po ang certification na nagpo-provide ng to those na nakakamit ng competency standards after nila mag-register or pumasok sa educational training ng TVET. Educational certification is provided to ensure and meet competency standards, thereby ensuring the productivity, quality, and global competitiveness of the middle-level workers. Dahil through this po, sisiguro natin na productive, may quality, and globally competitive ang mga middle-level workers. Po. Through that, yan na po yung certification sabi natin na binanggit kanina po na tulad ng NC1, NC2, and NC3, and so on. The next po is, yun na po pala. Thank you.
So, wait lang po, ano? May titignan lang po ako. Presenting ko po muna. Pwede na po mag-proceed.
Current reforms and policy discussion. Next slide po. Tibet in Tibet in Philippines will follow a two-pronged approach. The first one is Tibet for global competitiveness and workforce job readiness. It focus to the naka-focus yung global competitiveness and workforce job readiness doon sa mga estudyanteng grade 10 students na hindi na-complete ng senior high school because pwede silang mag-apply sa TESDA and then parang makakuha sila ng NC2 para kumuha ng formal job. And the second one is TVET for social equity. Yung social equity, it focus sa mga naagrabyadong mga social workers like indigenous, farmers, fishers, drug dependents, and person with disabilities. Tibet for global competitiveness seeks to ensure that the training, regulation, curriculum, and school facilities and equipment comply with global standards. Kumbaga, yung global competitiveness aims to ensure that yung training regulation, curriculum, and school facilities and equipment are all up to par with international standards. The target beneficiaries include workers that need skills upgrading students of higher level qualifications, overseas Filipino workers, and unemployed. Yung mga target na beneficiary ng nung global competitiveness and workforce job readiness and Tibet for social equity is yung yung mga taong need ng i-upgrade yung skills, yung mga estudyante na kailangan parang i-enhance yung level qualifications. Next slide. Similarity, TVET can prepare senior high students under the TVL track. Dito, parang mas focus talaga yung TVET doon sa mga TVL students. Kasi, yun nga, TVET means technical and vocational education and training. Kumbaga, dito, ini-enhance nila yung mga skills ng isang estudyante about sa technical and vocational. Tapos, para makapaghanda doon sa pag-college, kung anong kukuning course, grade 10 graduates who fail to complete senior high as well as out-of-school youth are also target for workforce job readiness by providing them with the required competencies to prepare them for the world of work. Yun nga yung sabi ko doon, yung target na ng workforce job readiness is yung mga grade 10 students. Next slide po. Tibet shall provide social equity. Kumbaga, yung Tibet, pinapromote niya yung social fairness doon sa education and training. Based on the universal principle of social inclusion and places people, particularly those who are socially excluded and displaced, such as, yung example nun is informal workers, indigenous peoples, farmers, fishers, drug dependents, rebel returnees, person with disabilities, displaced OFWs with low-level skills, victim of abuse, human trafficking, and disasters into the mainstream of society. Yun nga po, yun sabi ko, yung parang target ng social equity is yung mga inaagrabyado at inaabuso na person. Yan lamang po. Thank you.
Thank you po, Sir Ray. According to TESDA, the Philippines are facing the following challenges to the Tibet system. So here are the challenges. Provide workers with skills for industry. 4.0. The fourth industrial revolution will accelerate the convergence of industrial and information technology and will pervade all facets of human activities. In addition, the growing clamor for 21st century skills needs to be addressed by implementing a more sophisticated and advanced education and employment environment. So, it says here that the fourth industrial revolution will hasten the convergence of industrial and information technology, affecting all aspects of human life. Furthermore, the increased demand for 21st century skills must be met by establishing a more sophisticated and advanced educational and job environment. Meaning to say, magpapabilis sa pagsasama-sama ang industrial at information technology na nakakaapekto sa lahat ng aspeto ng tao. So next slide. So the next one is skill workforce for demand of priority industries. The eight priority industries identified by the NTESDP or National Technical Education and Skills Development Plan are forecast to generate higher economic value and much larger employment markets. They would require roughly 6 million quality workers in the 6 years of the planning period. The VET programs can support the goal of meeting the huge demand for a skilled and conscientious workforce by providing quality training and education in the required sectors. So the NTE SDP's eight priority industries are expected to provide substantially higher economic value and much larger job markets. By providing quality training and education in the appropriate fields, TVET programs can help satisfy the growing demand for a qualified and conscientious workforce. Meaning to say, na ang walong priority ng NTSDP ay inaasahang magbibigay ng mas mataas na halaga sa ekonomiya. Sabi din po dito, makakatulong ang mga programa sa TVET na patugunan ang lumalaking pangangailangan sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng dekalidad na pagsasanay at edukasyon. The last one is include workers who were left behind. Deliberately and affirmatively address the workforce who have been excluded and left behind by a fast-growing Philippine economy largely focused on major urban areas and the formal employment sector. Workers from the basic sectors have not been able to take advantage of the high economic growth rate because the leading industry employment generators did not induce multiplier effects, meaning they had limited linkages to the rest of the economy and produced little trickle-down effects. The VETS programs will provide additional training for these workers to upgrade their skills. Ibig sabihin nito ay tugunan ang workforce na napag-iwanan na ng mga umuunlad na ekonomiya ng Pilipinas na karamihan ay nakafocus lang sa malalaking syudad. Dahil ang pangunahing industriya ng mga gumagawa ng trabaho ay hindi lumikha ng mga multiplier effect, ibig sabihin ay meron silang limitadong link sa iba pang bahagi ng ekonomiya at nagdulot ito ng mga trickle-down effect. Ang trickle-down effect po ay term na ginagamit sa marketing na tumutukoy sa bagay na mga uso sa fashion na dumadaloy mula sa itaas na uri hanggang sa mas mababang uri sa lipunan. Yun lang po.
So now po, let us proceed for the sharing of insights and learnings. So sino po pwede mag-volunteer para po mag-share ng kanilang insights and learnings po? Anyone po? So siguro po wala muna. So sa grupo na lang po namin, Miss Maria Ella Torres, can you please state your insights and learnings po for our discussion, please?
My ins my insight wait po. In the future, as enterprise develops, the competence of enterprise as trainers with support from government will be the most cost-effective and outcost-efficient mode of debate at the level. Beyond basic life skills and perhaps directly supporting institutions in remote areas, Tibet is a part of economic policy and competitiveness and not primarily part of social policy.
So thank you po. So Miss Ma'am Laika, pwede po ikaw din po. Can you please share your insights po or learnings?
Okay po. Doon po sa the TVET teachers and trainers, analyze the develop of the national standards for Tibet personnel in the Philippine context. Based on the gathered data, it was found out first that there are differences in the terminologies used regarding the words teachers and trainers. In the Philippines, some schools call their practical arts teachers as trainers based on their practice, while some teachers are also called trainers because they have acquired national certification. However, there are also trainers who become assessors because they have met certain qualification. In terms of the development of the national standard, Tibet teachers, the Philippine Tibet trainers assessors, as a basis determining the national core of the technical vocational courses po. Yun lang. Thank you.
So thank you po. Siguro po enough na po yun. So let us now proceed po for the summary of the lesson. So we have Ms. Laika Zamudio for the summary of the lesson. Thank you.
The summary of the lesson today conclude by the first, the TVET system na may tatlong uri, formal TVET system, non-formal TVET system, informal TVET system. Second, TVET strategy and key policy documents. Nilalaman din dito yung RA 7796, Congressional Commission for Education, EDCOM, RA 10333, Enhanced Basic Education Act, RA 10647, Ladderized Education Act, RA 10771, Green Jobs Act, RA 10931, Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, RA 10968, the PQF, and 2018-2022, the NTESP. Third, governance and financing. Governance. They have a governance department. DOLE, TESDA, DILG, DTI, CHED, DepEd, DA, and DOST. Financing, public TVET and the private TVET. Fourth, TVETs, teachers, and trainers. Fifth, qualification, system, and quality assurance. Nilalaman din po dito yung dalawang National Qualification Framework, NQF, quality assurance, and last, current reforms and policy discussion. Nilalaman din po dito yung challenges to TESDA. Yun po.
So, dun po nagtatapos yung discussion namin. Hoping po na you have learned something. So, yun lang po. Thank you very much po sa participations and sa mga nakinig po. Thank you very much po. And happy dinner tayo po. Sorry po kung medyo na-late kami. Yun lang po. Thank you po and goodbye.
Thank you din po.
Bye
Thank you
po.
din
Thank
po.
you.
Thank you po.
Bye po and thank you sa nakinig.